Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fandom Flux podcast, episode 81.
You got it. That's like three weeks in a row.
That should also be in the soundboard, me stumbling over the episode name. Just have it be like, what episode number are we on again? And then someone has to jump in with the number. Yeah. We were discussing having a Casey soundboard before we started recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be it, by the way.
Conversation about brown stuff in a drink.
Okay, so the charity shop I work at has, like, they get food donated sometimes, but it's always, like, the damaged stock, so it's, like, bent or the packaging is slightly ripped and stuff like that. So, you know, it's all really, really cheap. Like, I get energy drinks 6 for £1, which is 4 for $1, I think, would be the conversion.
Something
kind of nuts.
Of course enough.
Yeah. So, it's kind of nuts, but sometimes, you know, there's that odd one that is really not so great and should never be consumed by humans. Humans just should not
most of the time,
consume them.
The can is just dented, and that's fine, but sometimes you get one that is really bad.
Like, it has brown stuff around the ring pull and, you know, the opening.
I told him to drink it, and then we decided it would probably kill him.
Yeah, and that, you know, I wouldn't be able to do the podcast anymore. That would be tragic, because Zero would try and take over. No one wants that. Yeah. And then they started talking about replacing me with a soundboard, which would work depressingly well. So feel free to include your submissions for what you think the Casey soundboard should include, like, yay, or, I don't know. That's probably one too, actually. I don't know. Yeah. So have fun with that, audience.
I don't think you can turn awkward silence into a button.
Shut up, Sasha. Shut up, insert name. That's another one. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so I'm Casey W. As we've been discussing for like the past 2.5 minutes. Thank you, recording time. Appreciate it. With me we have Kenji.
Hi, I'm Kenji618. I've been doing 200 reps on the bench since 9 o'clock this morning, and my pecs hurt.
At least it wasn't like grandstanding or anything like that anyway. Alright, Slicer.
I haven't done shit for the past few days, but my pecs feel great.
And you fell asleep before we started recording Manga Reflux.
That's a thing.
And Zero.
Hi everybody, how you doing? I'm Zero and nobody likes me.
I like you.
I like you just fine. I just don't want you to host a fucking podcast. It's my job.
True.
It's mine! You'll never take it from me!
Ticker Jibs.
Ticker dirt.
Anyway, so what have we been doing? Start with fucking Zero. Because he went last time, I think.
Okay. So I had some friends come over, a friend come over, and I was like, this is Bloodborne. So we made him a character, and he was like spending all this time making the character. I was just like, no, we don't have enough time. I have to go to work soon. So I took over the character creation. You can make some really messed up faces in Bloodborne. His ended up turning out like a green-haired, monocled, red-eyed Abraham Lincoln with a nose sharp enough to cut you.
Awesome.
And then my brother got to play Bloodborne, and I have never seen a more hideous thing in all my time on this earth. This is Oblivion levels of hideous.
That's pretty bad.
I don't know what the problem.
Oblivion just looked like marshmallow people for the most part.
It looked like he was wearing a mask. And it was a horrifying mask, but it was his face. You looked at his chin, there was like a piece of skin that was just like protruding out. You're like, oh, that's a mask. You take that off, but no, that's the face.
Oh, since we're talking about PlayStation, I'm gonna jump in here real quick. before we ever started recording anything at all, I learned that Zero didn't know that his PlayStation 4 had USB ports.
What?
I knew it had it somewhere.
So, let me get this straight. You didn't realize that it had the thing that it uses to connect controllers to it.
That's what I said. He didn't know that.
I plugged it in a long time ago, and then I didn't touch my PS4 for like 7 months. So, sue me. Guys.
PS3 did the same thing, Zero.
You didn't have
I didn't have a PS3.
That's true.
Oh, okay.
That's still not an excuse. Everything uses USB.
I had an Xbox
Pretty
360, and Xbox 360 hid the USB ports.
I have had to buy extra USB ports for the sake of everything that I own using USB ports. Everything, Zero, uses USB now.
The TV uses USB ports.
Well, la-di-da, I didn't know where it was. Alright?
But you were in the middle of something. I just had to throw that in there. I thought it was funny when I heard it.
Yes, Bloodborne, you're saying, Zero.
So, it was rather terrifying. Because he made it to the skin color was kind of greenish, and they went on the scale to make it, he went all the way to the feminine side, and then it turned into basically an ogre. Green skin, and the horrifying reds and yellows of the face, it was, oh my gosh.
I wouldn't go with ogre for feminine. I don't know how that scale works, because they do the same thing in Dark Souls.
It looks like a sort of orc type thing.
The feminine faces don't actually look that feminine.
No,
in fact, the masculine ones look more human.
Combined with everything else he'd done, we made a monster and put a monocle on it. But it looked like a mask. It looked like, I was amazed by. You see, the thing is with these freaking, whenever you have super minute controls over character creation, and then you put everything to the max or the minimum. Things go really bad really quickly.
They do.
So, that was a lot of fun. Other than that, my family, my parents had went over to Mexico, and they brought me back a real wrestler's mask this time, rather than the fake one.
Yay.
This was the actual wrestlers, Mexican wrestlers, luchador mask, and yeah.
And
no, I know what you're gonna say. It's good.
I think your mic just cut out after.
Yeah, you cut out for like 6 seconds.
So this thing has like a mouth hole thing that your lips fit through, and then you look like Ultimate Muscle. So now I can understand why they draw wrestler characters kind of like that with the big lips. This is the way the mask is made.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Wait, you say it's a real wrestler mask. Do you mean that's an actual mask from an actual wrestler? Because that's really mean if you're holding on to it.
No, it's a nice mask.
What does it look like? Maybe I can identify it.
Oh god. This is how it started last time.
Alright. I'm gonna turn on video. Looks like this.
Yeah, I mean, if it says it's legit, I gotta verify it if I can.
Do you like, thanks Zero, you screwed up the recording.
Yeah.
Do you like to switch this call recording to video mode? No.
Yeah, I think that's legit.
Yeah, it's got like the laces on the back.
Yeah.
It's pretty generic, but I mean, yeah, it looks real.
Yeah.
It's blue with white features, basically, for the audience's sake.
It's nice. I like it.
I'll have to identify it later.
So now I have 2 masks, which is nice. I gotta get a collection of these masks now. I feel the need. Other than that, I was working on writing a bit when I could. It's been kind of busy. But I'm finally starting to actually make progress, which is nice. So I want to get back into writing, and I'm probably going to end up reducing my chapter sizes a lot so I can actually finish chapters. Instead of 10,000 plus word chapters, bringing it down to 6,000. Because that's actually feasible to get done in a day. Yeah. Not much else has been going on. I mean, I did D&D, but all there was a bunch of dialogue. It was kind of boring. Oh yeah. People tried to steal our ship, and then they all surrendered as soon as we appeared because they realized, oh crap, these guys murdered everybody in there.
Okay. I'll go next because I'll take a while. What did I do this week? Okay, here's my list of things that I did this week because I did things. No, I didn't. Great. So I found out that Scotch eggs are fucking amazing and like one of the best foods in the world.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for one of you fuckers to ask me what they are because I know you don't know.
I don't know what they are. What are they? I don't want to sound dumb, but I don't know what they are.
You told me, so
okay.
I know.
Yeah, I told Celeste because he didn't know either. So, Scotch eggs are hard-boiled eggs that are wrapped in sausage meat and breadcrumbs.
So it's basically a heart attack in egg form.
If it was made here, yes. But there it's probably healthier.
Ish. They are Scotch eggs, and the Scotch bit implies Scotland, and Scotland are the people that deep-fried a Mars bar.
Why?
Because it seemed delicious, and it probably is. But that is literally a heart attack in,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but Scotch eggs are amazing, to the point where I bought 2 to try, and then immediately went to the shop again the next day to buy 4 more. They were all gone by the night, so... but they're tasty, so, it's great. So Log Horizon ended. That was... Zero, you could mute your mic when you're not talking because you got background noise.
Yeah, my computer's kind of freezing up, so I can't move my mouse to click the thing, and if I mute my mic, it's just going to go to the laptop mic, which sucks.
Weird. Alright, yeah, so Log Horizon ended, and it was, let's call it a mediocre season all over. Because that fucking kid's arc, I literally skipped most of it.
The ending would have to be pretty good to make up for that, yeah.
Yeah. Like, Log Horizon, it got off to a pretty good first season. And then the second season is where it kind of stagnated a little bit.
I get the impression they didn't know where to go with it.
Well, in fairness, they went through the first 5 books in the first season. There are 7 total.
Oh, right.
They should have waited, I think.
Yeah.
Like, for example, some of the new animes are coming out, like Overlord has a ton of light novel volumes already out so that they can draw from that. One Punch Man is getting an anime adaptation, but like, although the newer manga is kind of behind, the original manga drawn by One is like completed. So they have that to draw from. But if you're going to do something you don't have a lot going, then there's going to be a long delay between seasons. And if there isn't, then you're going to run out of material really quickly.
Yeah. So, in other anime stuff, so DxD is back. They did a 3rd season. And, I was really struggling to remember what this show was about. So I, put the first episode on, and the first shot is all of the characters topless. So I'm like, yeah, okay, that's what the show's about. Now I remember. Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's...
Good way to open it, I guess.
That's pretty solid reminder. Thank you, show. I appreciate it. It's really bringing it home for me. Yeah. So, yeah, that's still okay.
I mean, the show's has, character depth in it, but there's a lot of fan service, too.
That's understating it, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, another weird one. Ace of Diamond ended and started again, like, within the space of a week. It's technically the 2nd season now, even though, the previous season ended about 10 days ago.
Oh, that is weird.
I don't quite know how that works. But, yeah. Do you want to know how they're starting the 2nd season?
How?
Back-to-back flashback episodes.
Oh, God.
Yay!
Yeah, you remember when Kill la Kill took the piss out of that entire concept by doing the flashback episode in about 2 minutes?
That was great.
Yeah, it was great. Why didn't the entire Japanese population realize how stupid flashback episodes were from that?
Because you got to pad out the length of the season somehow.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, speaking of animes, I'm going to be watching quite a few just so I can, just kind of sort out the crap from the good stuff. And there's a few that I already recognize that are coming out, so it's going to be good. I haven't watched anything yet, though. But, yeah, like, I recognize Owari no Seraph of the End, which is, vampires and people killing them. And a lot.
As they should.
Yeah.
Hey, don't be racist against vampires.
Yeah,
I'll be racist against whatever fictional creature I want.
Shokugeki no Soma, which is always good. Dungeon ni Idea, or Dungeon ni Die Wamoto Meru, whatever it's translated to. I don't know. Oh, okay. It's called Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Yes.
Oh. Can I ask a question?
Yeah?
Is there more to Shokugeki no Soma than the foodgasm that you keep referencing?
Yes, there's significantly more. There's a lot to it. It's just...
Okay.
That's the most noticeable
That's all you bring up, so it does not sound like the most...
I haven't talked a lot about it, to be fair. There's a lot of good characters. There's a lot of... just the way they talk about the food and how they actually work with it. It's very... It's educational, and it's cool at the same time, and there's lots of humor in it. It's great. Just all around. A good manga. I need to watch the show, though. Yeah.
Incidentally, the third season of DxD is called Born. any idea why it would be called that? I don't get it.
Probably because in the light... Oh, are they at the... they might be at the arc where... Issei, that's spoilers, I don't want to say it though.
Kuroka just got introduced. Kaneko's sister.
Oh, okay. So they're relatively close to what's going to be a very big arc. And I don't want to give any spoilers, but I think Born is you can assume is probably related to Issei. In a way.
Okay, fair enough. I just know they called the last one New so that they could make boobs out of the W, so...
Yeah, Born is... Great. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that show's level is, I guess. Yeah, what else? Tom Scar. Tom Scar is fucking amazing.
Yes.
I did not realize this for a long time, but yeah. It's fucking great. The Hole is a funny video.
Which one is that?
The sketch where there's a hole in his living room. That's pretty much it.
Huh. Yeah, I guess I haven't seen all of his stuff.
Well, I'll have to link it then, won't I? Because I'm a great person like that. Yay.
Also, as far as anime goes, Denpa Kyoshi. That's if you guys have ever watched Great Teacher Onizuka, it's like that with an otaku as the teacher, and it's actually really good.
Yeah. So, Tom Scott is a funny dude. I did not realize this. I had never heard of him until like a couple days ago when he got mentioned on Spoiler Warning because they were talking about dropping people in a hole, and that was the video that I just linked.
Did you ever watch anything from Eddsworld?
Eddsworld? No, I don't think so.
Oh, for anyone familiar, he's the guy without eyes.
The guy without eyes? Okay.
Yeah, Tom's good. Or Tom, whatever.
Okay, yeah, and finally I got tickets for Avengers 2 on premiere day.
Hooray.
Nice.
Which is April 23rd, by the way, in this country. We get it like a week before you guys, I don't know why.
Whatever.
It's kind of awesome.
I don't care.
Weird incidental fact. April 23rd is Shakespeare's birthday.
All right.
Is it flamboyantly gay William Shakespeare, or just William Shakespeare?
Just regular William Shakespeare.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's an odd coincidence. Though might not be a coincidence because Joss Whedon is a Shakespeare fan, but I don't know how much input he has on release dates. I don't know. I just thought it was weird. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to see that in the pictures, which I haven't been to in like over a decade.
Yeah, you're gonna have fun.
That's gonna be an interesting experience.
You're not even gonna talk when you tell us about it afterwards. You're not even gonna tell us about the movie. You're just gonna bitch about how the experience was.
Probably, yeah. But it's not that common an experience for most people anymore. I don't think going to cinema.
I don't know. There was a period where I went to the movies like every, I don't know, once a month at least.
Yeah, I did that when I got them for free. Now I don't get them for free, so I don't.
Yeah, that was years ago when it wasn't a ridiculously expensive expenditure compared to just sitting at home waiting for it to come on Netflix.
At least here, it was like $7.50, I think, and that was like the most expensive part aside from just the gas. But well, that was if you didn't get food there. But that's kind of universally accepted that theater food is horrendously overpriced.
Yeah, my ticket was £8.50, and that was standard seating.
Thank God for deep pockets. That's all I can say about the food.
Yeah. I go in the winter, so I bring my huge coat, and then nobody can see anything.
Bring your big ass coats and your baggiest pants.
Yeah. So that should be an interesting experience. Half looking forward to it, half. No, I'm mostly looking forward. I did the smart thing, and I got a ticket that was like 2 p.m. So there's gonna be no kids. It's gonna be great. It's on a Thursday, so.
Hopefully, anyway.
Yeah.
Who goes to a movie on a Thursday?
People that want to see it on premiere day, which is a Thursday.
Yay.
Actually, Thursday was the day that was like half price at the theater that I go to, because they wanted to boost ticket sales.
For my theater, it's Tuesday. Every Tuesday is like $5 movie night.
You have half price? Damn, you guys.
And then they made
it's like the shitty days that no one comes in. So and then they gotta make costs.
And then they made $6 movie night. Screw you.
I guess.
Don't like that. Don't say it's $5 movie night. Then change to $6 movie night. It's low blow.
Why not 7? Because there are 7 days in a week.
Yeah, that's about the fucking reasoning that they used. Pretty much. They probably made it $6 because there's 6 other days in the week, so we have to do $1 for every one, right?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much my week. I've a lot of, stuff that's new and cool and interesting that other people did, not that I did, Oh, worth mentioning, I'm getting a webcam this week. So, one, that means we could probably start doing video podcasts, I guess. Can we?
I don't care.
We could try, but I have to warn you that you're going to see me not paying attention most of the time.
I think that's just basically how that goes normally. I think we can tell anyway. We can definitely tell with Kenshi.
I'll put on my lucha mask. There. Then you'll never know.
How can you tell with me?
Because you don't say anything for 30 minutes at a time. Dead silence.
Such a
good.
I really can't blame anyone who doesn't look interested, though, because, we're at episode 81, and they're 2, sometimes nearly 3 hours long, so, well, they used to be 3, so. That's a lot of time.
Yeah, they did.
No way.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure I'd never let it go over 2 hours.
Yeah, sure.
I think once it went to 2 hours and 12 or something.
They went super long. They, remember, because at some point, not only were we doing topics, but we were doing the recaps in these episodes.
Yeah, we did what we're doing, and then we did the recaps, and then we did one topic.
No, we did we still did the full show.
Yeah, but we also didn't have any questions or anything at that point. We never did those because we pretty much never got them.
Go check the early ones. They fucking long.
They were still about 2 hours, I'm sure of it, because that was the framework we used for the new episodes, if you want to call them that. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm getting a webcam, and me and Slicer might be doing something cool. I don't know yet, maybe, possibly. Depends on how it works out. So, yeah, that's my week.
Did you want to do that, by the way? I didn't want to come across like I was just inviting myself along.
Yeah, that'd be fine with that. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. All right, then.
Slicer, you next.
All right. It's a very fast week again this time.
Okay.
Scholar the First Sin came out, since me and Casey are doing stuff with that, maybe. I don't want to spoil anything too bad.
Way to spoil it entirely, Slicer.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to say anything about it, but not specifically anyway. But the DLC weapons are gone, like the ones you get when you first start making characters. The pre-order weapons, that's it, not DLC. Which kind of sucked, because I used the mace for my early game. But that, and then they blocked off some of the bonfires with just inexplicably petrified people standing in a doorway.
Yep.
It's stupid.
Yeah, I played the intro sequence in Things Betwixt, and the coffin of Rule 63 is blocked off by a petrified person.
Mm-hmm. At least there it makes sense, because there's other enemies of that type in that area, but none of the other ones make any sense.
Cool,
the only other thing I'll mention is that they didn't fix the durability bug. The one thing I wanted them to fix. I use a greatsword. I feel that bug bad.
Okay, I do have a fix for that I can show when we're doing the thing. So.
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah. I did actually show that in my first attempt at a Let's Play of it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first thing I did. So I can find out how to do that again.
Well, that'd be great. Because I had a fully repaired greatsword. I swung at a group of enemies once, and it shattered.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. That, and I finally figured out why I don't like bleach pits. It's the enemy always becomes your friend, so you can't write a fic about them being, the main character being powerful, because then you're killing off future friends.
Pretty much, yeah. The entire first real arc, real-ish, the Soul Society thing, you can't kill anyone at all.
Yeah.
Kuratsuchi at a push.
I forget what it was called, but it was a fic where Ichigo was a hollow, and he was.
Yep.
It was great.
Better
Left? No, not Better Left Unsaid.
That was Ken.
It was like that. Still not going as planned, I think it was.
Yes.
Or not going as planned.
Yeah. It was a sequel fic, but yes.
Yeah. That was a good one. I should reread that one. One of the few Bleach fics I actually like.
Yeah, that and The World in Black and White was pretty good.
Oh, and finally, I made a bank account yesterday because I got some checks from my college for reimbursement for tuition. So I got like $700.
Yay!
Nice, but
Slicer
I don't know.
has some money. Slicer has some money.
Hopefully, I'll be able to get a better headset so I don't sound like ass.
You mean a better mic?
Well, yeah. I'm gonna give the desktop mic a try. See how that works.
It's pretty cool.
And that's it. That's the extent of my week.
Okay. Kenji.
Okay. So, this week, nothing really of any circumstance went down except for the fact that I bought Battlefield Hardline.
Oh, right, yeah, I forgot you were going to talk about this.
Yeah.
Okay. Battlefield Hardline. Go.
Did I say Battlefield 4 Hardline? I'm an idiot.
No, you didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, bought that, and I played the campaign first because that's what I do. I beat the campaign before I do anything multiplayer. And honestly, I enjoyed the campaign. It's pretty good to me.
I think the gimmick is a little, I don't like it, but it makes sense.
So?
So you got to take people down instead of just shooting them because you're a cop.
You don't have to.
You get more points for it though, so it's more beneficial.
I enjoyed it actually. It made me think more. I mean, you could have just gone in guns ablazing whenever, but and actually unlocking weapons in the story really didn't matter that much. I mean, it wasn't really important. They gave you all the stuff that you needed, like the grappling hook and stuff. So it wasn't like it was integral for you to score high on the points taking people down the entire.
Oh, I see. So they kind of went for a Deus Ex style thing where you get points and you can get upgrades and stuff, but because, non-lethal is the way to go if you want the most points, then it's entirely pointless for you to get the upgrades.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I got one gun. It's I think the 4th episode out of 10, and that was pretty much what I used the rest of the time.
Yeah, Deus Ex probably handled it better because it let you get upgrades that made non-lethal a better approach. So it made being non-lethal a bit easier.
Now,
in some ways.
Yeah, what would happen here is you have 2 options for non-lethal. You could just sneak up on someone and knock them out with a melee, or you could get close enough to flash your badge because you're a cop, and people will be held up. If you can hold up to 3 people up at once, but if someone that you didn't hold up during the initial badge flash comes into or realizes what's going on and comes over, it's going to start the gunfight. They're going to attack, and the person that's held up is going to jump in, and it's going to be a big clusterfuck thing. So you can hold people up and arrest them. If you don't keep everything settled while you're arresting people, they're going to try and attack you because your back's turned and blah, blah, blah. So you got to make sure that if you're doing multiple people at once, you either have someone with you or you keep everyone in your line of sight while you're arresting people.
You realized your phrasing, didn't you?
Huh?
If you're doing multiple people at once.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm a child.
Yeah. Do you unlock anything for multiplayer through the single player, like usual, or
no?
Wait, what?
Well, actually, yeah, because you get battle packs. You can get battle packs if you do everything right. Like, you can also, like, since you're a cop, you're searching for evidence and everything as well, which I thought was also a nice touch.
Yeah.
So you find evidence, and if you get, like, all the evidence to finish a certain investigation, you get battle packs and stuff.
And apparently you also unlock, panic grenades as a go-to option when you're fighting someone in multiplayer. Because it's the same button as the arrest button.
Arrest button. I love that button so much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's according to Zero Punctuation anyway.
Let's see, what else did I want to say about it? For some reason, I find it easier than Battlefield 4 when I play multiplayer. Like I played Team Deathmatch. I didn't have time to do much yesterday, but I was playing Team Deathmatch, and I was kind of killing it. So, with no levels and no real weapons, so good for me.
Yeah. Everyone's too busy just pressing the grenade button by accident.
It's also that the game just runs smoother for 1, and for 2, there's a lot of new people playing.
Yeah, it's a pretty, well, at least on the surface of it, it's a very different concept to the previous games. Because it's not a war game, it's a police game, kind of, ish.
Sort of.
Yeah. So, they can advertise it as that and make it look like it's something. It's pretty much not something new, but, gets the new audience in, I guess.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it more later. I've enjoyed what I've played so far. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Must be nice to be able to win sometimes.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, right, you're Kenchi. You never lose and stuff. You're great, Kenchi.
No,
I love you. Have my children.
I'm confused. Whatever. I don't care. Let's see. What else did I do to myself? Oh, yeah, that's right. My right knee is 90%. 90% is
Did you
still
say that
pain.
last week?
Yeah.
He did say that last week, yes.
90% still painful. See, I went to practice again, and everything was fine. I was jumping off the ropes, doing everything I needed to do. Then I hurt myself, jumping over the ropes.
Surprise!
Just to get in the ring.
God damn it, Ken.
What?
I don't even need to follow that up. God damn it,
No,
Ken.
here's the thing. After I did it and walked it off 30 seconds later, it was fine. And then about 4 hours later, while I was at work, it felt better than it ever had before I hurt myself, or after I hurt myself the first time. I don't understand why it would feel better.
Because you deadened all of the nerves in it by all of the damage.
That's not possible, and still, it would be impossible to do that and still allow me to walk.
But you're Kenchi, so that maybe you're just that badass and such, and stuff like that.
Maybe. Why do you sound farther away? You face palming or something?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I'm sorry I let you down somehow. I don't see how.
Your fucking knee would have healed by now if you'd left it alone.
But that's boring. Nobody got time for that.
You should have time for that. Make time for that. Gosh darn it.
Now you don't have time for anything else, so you may want to make time.
But I do have time for everything. I've not stopped doing anything that I've been doing before I hurt myself since I hurt myself. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, go make your pecs dance.
You know what? I think I will.
Can you do that?
Yes, I can, actually.
Yeah,
Wow.
you can. He talked about it last week, didn't he?
Yeah, I did.
If you did,
Yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah, he apparently spent like 5 minutes staring into a mirror making his pecs dance.
You don't understand. No one understands.
I understand. Again, if I could, I would totally do that, but that doesn't mean I don't get to judge you when you do it.
It's true.
Yeah.
You know what? Fine. Judge me.
Okay.
I don't really want to be judged. Please don't judge me.
Anything else, Ken?
No, pretty much nothing.
No, because you're still injured, so you can't really do anything. Yeah, that makes sense. If only there was a simple solution to that problem.
Yeah. Yeah, they need to invent stim packs, so I can just...
Okay, so, not a lot of stuff for me to link there, I don't think. Or there might be, and I just completely ignored it. Whoops, my bad.
The problem with stim packs in real life is you get Bioshock-style splicing mutation from those. It wouldn't know when to stop healing.
The medical stuff from Bioshock wasn't really the stuff that was causing the mutations.
I know. I was using that as an example. You would mutate somehow.
It was a bad example, because it's not how it worked.
I'm just going to ignore that.
I'm going to be mean to everybody in this podcast today. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, first topic is descriptive prose. Yay, because, you know, let's talk about descriptive prose. Okay, descriptive prose. It's a tricky thing, because, again,
Please don't get lost in it.
This podcast does deal mostly in fanfiction terms when we're talking about writing. Mostly. Sometimes we get a bit more broad, but mostly. So, when it comes to descriptive prose, it's not as necessary if you were writing something original.
Yeah, as somebody who I've actually been dabbling with writing a few original stories off on the side, you know, and it's very easy to get lost in descriptive prose because you want to describe everything, you want to make everything, you know, visible to the audience, but
yeah, because it's important. You need to know what the characters look like, what the environments look like, what the setting is, and all this interesting stuff that, you know, really fills out the story a little bit. But, you know, The problem is, with fanfiction specifically, it's that a lot of that stuff we already know, because we read the original. They described that stuff, so we've seen it.
Some good ways I find to do this in relation to describing how characters look is you don't have to do a single paragraph just focusing all around how that character looks. You can break it up, saying this character turns their head, their whatever color hair fluttering in the wind or something. I don't know. Just like small little descriptors mixed in with dialogue and actual movement in the story, so that you can actually sort of form an image of this character. That's one way to do it, at least.
As different bits get more important to what's going on, so like if you were to tie it into body language like we talked about previously, then you could just include it as that. So you could say such and such a character folded his arms across his chest, and you could see the muscles in his triceps. Is that the one? Forearms?
No, it's
biceps.
Biceps.
Whatever. You can see them flexing and such to show he's a muscly guy and such things.
What you'll find a lot is stories that use OCs tend to fall into this a lot.
Yeah, they'll just drop an info dump on you about what this character is.
Because it's your OC. You spend so much time designing, you want to see how everybody thinks about your cool OC, right?
Yeah.
And his dragon motif, or his wolf motif, and his white hair that is there for some reason.
Yeah, because all OCs apparently have white hair. This is a little bit of a pet peeve of mine, you can imagine why.
And the 6 swords he carries on his back.
There aren't enough bear motifs, by the way. More bear-themed characters, please.
Yeah, we've said that before.
We did a long thing on this.
But essentially,
also too many eagles, but that's...
Now, moving past character descriptions, because we've covered that a lot, I believe, in the past.
So, describing the setting. Let's do describing the setting, because that's something that really is neglected a lot in fan fiction, and a lot of the time it is kind of important, because in fan fiction you might actually take it into places that have not been explored in the original work. So
now, something I've always been taught, and something that I like to advocate, is using the 5 senses to help describe an area.
Yeah.
And
it's always good to get a full visual idea of what a place looks like, and maybe sometimes you'll get an auditory description, like there's birds chirping and you can hear the leaves rustling in the wind and such like that. Smell's
a big one.
Is the biggest one, because smell is very important for memory.
Mm-hmm. One
thing. So if you have a certain smell in a place, and say the reader actually recognizes that, so they know what that smell looks like, it's a lot easier for them to imagine it, because they can then relate it to this other thing that they remember.
Touch can work if you're like touching a wall or something.
It's a lot harder to manage with touch. I think
the hardest one to get is taste, unless you're tasting the air. Unless there's something, unless something's really like wrong with the air, and you can actually kind of taste just like some sort of substance in the air.
That works a lot easier if you work that in with smell when you're mentioning it.
Yeah. Alternatively, smelling something so strong you can almost taste it is a thing.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Because
What? It's not a pleasant thing.
Yeah, because your sense of smell and your sense of taste are very closely related. So, yeah. It can be extremely unpleasant. But that's part of building the setting, is working in how your character not just is in this area and sees it, but how they would describe and perceive it. One thing, though, is if it's a familiar type of environment, like an alleyway, you don't have to spend a paragraph writing about how an alleyway looks.
Yeah.
No. Focus on the important things. What's special about this alleyway, if anything? If there isn't anything, it's gloss over it. Feel free. It's an alleyway. People know what they look like.
But in contrast, if you're going to like Hogwarts, That
If it's a magical alleyway, then there might be something worth describing there, just saying.
Yeah.
Describe mainly what's relevant, and if you have enough...
What's relevant and what's different.
Yeah.
What the reader might find unfamiliar about the setting.
You don't have to number the amount of trash cans in the alleyway unless it's super suspicious.
Yeah, no one cares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. You can write more than 1,000 words describing a scene.
But don't, because
But
it's not.
don't. It's
Yeah.
not what you want to do.
Yeah, that picture that's worth 1,000 words, people pay attention to maybe 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, before they just zone out.
Yeah. I mean, you take a picture of a beautiful landscape, they don't notice the gravel road that the cameraman was standing on,
Not usually.
for example. But, that will be part of the 1,000 words description.
Yeah.
So try not to waste the reader's time with it. There is a lot of pacing that goes into description.
Yeah.
And if you do too much, then you're going to slow the story right down, which is a bad thing.
And
but if you do too little, then
tend
you
to
don't
skim.
give enough.
People will
Yeah.
start skimming a lot if you do that, and
Yeah.
may actually end up dropping it because you're just describing everything all the time. There's no actual plot movement.
Mm.
And that's really easy to do, is to just fall into that. Especially when you're writing fan fiction, you go to new areas that you wouldn't have because your fan fiction is being different. Like, you make up this area that people would go to because you need this area for some reason. And you can fall into several paragraphs of trying to describe what this area looks like.
That's not a bad thing. If it's a very important place that we're going to be revisiting several times.
Yeah.
If it's just a one scene, then we don't need a lot of detail. Even if it's entirely unfamiliar and there's all this interesting stuff, it doesn't matter if we're never coming back.
I kind of want to refer to the Harry Potter books. When they first go to the whole cafeteria area, there's kind of a big description about that area, but it's only like a paragraph. But managing to get the point across.
Yeah, there's
and it's a big
4 tables,
area.
there's the head table, there's the ceiling that's mirroring the sky.
Yeah, and then there's the whole everything, all the candles in the sky and everything. And
and that's pretty much all we get. It's not a lot. It's a kid's book, so they don't go into way too much detail because kids don't care. They just want to read the story and see what happens. But it's enough to get the imagination going, so the reader can, get involved and fill in the blanks themselves if, their imagination is so inclined. Depends on the person.
Yeah.
But there's enough there to get a good start on, basically.
So, you have to kind of, to cover what we've said, use things as irrelevant, use things that can, from the 5 senses, to help describe an area, and kind of...
Things that are different, yeah.
Don't be stuck describing an area. Okay, here's one thing. If you go to an area once, you don't have to describe it again. And again and again and again, every time you revisit that area. Unless you need to go to like a certain part of the room that you haven't been to before. But you're not going to say, just copy and paste a paragraph describing the area again. Once
if
is good
something's
enough.
different, mention it. If not, just leave it alone.
If it's enough that we can understand what the area looks like, you don't have to keep describing it. And that's really helpful. Just one description is usually needed unless there's something very different.
Ken, you feel like jumping in?
If you are going to describe an area, I like to think, like, if I'm reading an area description of some sort, I would like to, I don't know, hear or read how a character is perceiving it as. I don't like just being given the narrator just telling you, and it smelled like such and such and such and such. Try and put like a character's own personal, like, what they're getting out of what they're seeing or hearing.
Right, yeah. That's a good point, yes.
Makes sense.
The character's impression of a space is important, especially if it's that character's story. So if they're integral to the story, then it's very important how that character sees the space and how it makes them feel and what it makes them remember and how they perceive the space. Basically.
Yeah, because then you can contrast that with how another character views the area. How important. One thing to note: purple prose comes into play here a lot.
The purple prose, by the way, is not a complimentary term. That is an insult.
Where you get so extravagant, ornery, and just ornate and flowery, just all this metaphors and similes for how you'll describe this area. It needs to be poetic. I'll do that. I mean, you can for like a big important area, like, oh, the candles in the sky are like stars, the night starry sky.
The candles in the sky are like stars.
Yeah.
Well, in the Great Hall, there's candles on the ceiling.
Yeah.
That sort of counts.
But it's just like, you know, you don't want to go over the top a lot of the time, and not every time. Maybe in one situation you might be able to just go more into kind of a more poetic description for an area, if that's what you're trying to evoke for that specific area. But so many doing that over and over and over again, it doesn't have to be super flowery language in describing an area. You can just say, hey, there's a room, there's a bed, and there's a desk. There you go. That's all you need to know.
You could do with a little bit more.
A little bit more, but, like, I'm trying to say, you ought to say, oh, there's a nice wooden bed made of mahogany, and it smells the bottom.
And there are many leather-bound books.
And there are many leather-bound books everywhere. And they...
Yellowed with age.
I touch them and they feel good in my body.
If you had that many books, it would factor into a smell. They do give off a smell if you have enough books.
But, it's... When you do purple prose, you add unnecessary words to make something longer and more extravagant. And you try to use complex words, and nobody really wants that all the time. I mean, maybe once.
It depends on the genre.
It kind of does, but...
If you're writing a romance story, yes.
Yeah.
Purple prose probably has its place there. Especially in the big moments. But other than that...
You're writing action, and all of a sudden you stop to describe the beauty in the world.
I think
unless you're being symbolic, then probably not.
Yeah. Alternative on the other end, there's some amount of effort you have to put into describing an area sometimes.
Yeah. The opposite is obviously called beige prose, where there's nothing to it. It is exactly the description that Zero just used. There's a bed, there's a bookshelf, it's got books on it, and there's a light in the center of the ceiling, and that's pretty much all you get.
That can be fine.
That does not spark imagination. That sparks, it's a room.
It's appropriate for some areas.
It can be fine if that's the point, but don't do that for every room.
It's appropriate for some areas. For others... if you mention a big plot important area, and you're like, it's a big room, and there's nothing in it.
If it's big and empty and Spartan, that is its own description.
Yeah.
You can still describe it as such, and it will still count as description.
But if
you still need to put effort into it.
It's big, there's a big thing over there, there's a thing over there, and there's a thing over there. But I'm not going to comment on anything about them, or describe them.
If it's a hub to the story, put in some effort in trying to make people visualize what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah. Another thing, I feel like it's easy to get lost in colors when describing things. Because everything, like, especially when you're saying, you want to use absurd colors, or colors are in between colors, a color that you yourself look through the color hexagon system to find. And yeah, it's very easy to get lost in trying to describe everything and the color that it is, and the texture, and what it probably looks like, it smells like.
That kind of leads into something else in that just because you spent a long time researching it does not make it important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I think
Like, sorry to interrupt. Like, for example, you spend all this time. Perfect example. You spend all this time researching IKB, International Klein Blue. It's got interesting history behind it. It's a fascinating color because basically in a time period where it was very difficult to make blues, and this particular shade of blue was literally impossible to make, and the artist who basically painted an entire rectangle painting of just this one color blue, he spent thousands just trying to develop this one particular color, and it is an absorbing, infinite kind of blue that, you know, you could equate it with the heavens because you just get lost in the sea of color. And do you know how much you needed to know about all of that stuff? None of it.
It's blue.
One single detail.
There was no point in me telling you that story about the history of International Klein Blue. No one cares.
It's rarely going to come up in the story itself.
Yeah.
I'm not going to rule out the possibility, but chances are low.
So, don't put too much effort in research and backstory and the history of your environment design and such things. 90% of people won't, not even 90%, 99.9% of people won't care.
Yeah.
And the 0.1% of people that do will think you're being a pretentious dickwad. So, you know, rein it in a little bit, that's what I'm saying.
The vast majority of people, you lost them after blue.
Yeah.
That's all they needed to know.
So, that's descriptive prose? We done with that?
I didn't want to interrupt anybody's point, but we never really got into how to do that. How to describe things. In which I can only really give how I do things, which when you're describing people, I start from the bottom up or the top down when describing clothes or skin color, that kind of thing. And for environments, I usually go from the character perspective outward. So whatever's closest to them, and then whatever's farthest from them. That kind of thing.
I personally would probably go with whatever grabs the attention first.
Yeah.
So
I can see that too, yeah.
if the character has a very striking part of their apparel or appearance, then I would start with that and then go outwards from it.
Whatever the main image you want people to take from whatever it is you're describing. Because normally when you're like describing a town, there's usually a focal point like a big-ass building with spires and such. Or
yeah, if you're describing Harry Potter, you start with the green eyes. If you're describing Naruto, you start with the foxy grin. And so on and so forth. You start with the most eye-catching bit, and then you move on to the bits that are less important but still important, then to the not really important, so we just kind of glaze over those bits.
Right. I can see the strength of that style, yeah. And that was it. I think I'm done with that topic.
Okay. Anyone else? Is that a no?
I think we're good.
That was a long pause, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, next topic is turnoff lines.
Fun.
And if there's one thing I know about this topic, it's certainly going to be interesting. Get it? Because that's my turnoff line.
Yeah.
Seriously. The only interesting thing about the word interesting is that it is completely not interesting.
Lines like that just come off as needy.
Hey guys, keep reading my story. I promise it's interesting.
It's supposed to be interesting. You don't.
It's supposed to be... The first chapter is also supposed to be interesting, so if it's not already interesting, you're losing readers anyway. Sorry. I've actually dumped good stories that I found out were good after the fact because of that line, so it kind of pisses me off. Anyway, so turn off lines. Basically, lines that make you not want to keep reading. Simple as.
I don't know.
Is this a trope? Because, I mean...
Nope.
This would be easier. Yeah.
Not as far as I know.
It's...
Now think of them.
This is one of those things like other things where I just forget those lines so I don't have to think about them. Of course, that means when I see them again, it all kinds of comes rushing back and it hits harder than it probably should, but yeah. Something like, and that was the start of their adventure at the end of the chapter. It's not great. Or something leaning against the fourth wall. This fourth wall humor in general, just...
Yeah, the wink, wink, nudge, nudge thing kind of annoys me.
Yeah.
But that's more of a concept than a line. See, you guys picked this topic out, not me. Why did you pick this out if you didn't have anything for it?
This was your topic. I expected you to talk more about it.
Yeah, I had one, and then I said what it was, and then I explained what it was.
I just realized I had my mic on mute again.
Yeah,
Nice.
you did,
Right.
I guess.
So, no flames, please.
I'll go with it, sure. That's pretty bad.
When you write that, I don't want to read your story.
Oh, we're going there? Oh, okay. Anything that any sentence with the word chappy in it.
Oh, God.
Also the line, "This is my OC."
Yeah, this is a lot easier now. Thanks, Leo, for opening that up.
I would say don't read, but I mean, it sounds stupid and overdone, but it's kind of a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
Anytime personal opinion is put into a description, like, oh, and it was really cool, or that is...
He had this really cool hat.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
And the more
had
extreme
like a stripe on
that,
it was badass.
The more extreme version of that being outright author's notes inside chapters with...
Oh, I hate that. Don't do that. Please. Please, no.
I
That's
viciously ripped those out when I beta stuff.
That's the worst thing you can ever do to your story, is to interrupt it to put in an author's note. Nobody wants to read the story for you. They want to read the story for the characters.
I think a lot of authors could learn that lesson. Or need to.
Gosh.
You are not as important as you think you are.
Oh, yeah, in that same vein, don't insert your own laughs into something.
People do that?
Yes, people do that. When there's a scene that they mean to be funny, they will put like a little author's note blurb in there, like, LOL, I laugh.
Oh, God, yeah.
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 Oh. Okay, a lot of first lines can just automatically turn me off from the story. If you have a very boring first line, oh my gosh, I can't read it. It has to be interesting for me. Like, the classic, an alarm goes off and they wake up. That as
I wouldn't call that a classic, but okay.
You sound like you're face palming again.
I am. All right, let's see if we can go specific.
Yeah.
Fandom specific. Naruto. Why do they hate me so much?
Something about mobs, usually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look some stuff up now because
Feel free.
There's lots of it all over the place and everything.
Okay, Slicer should have some for this. Harry Potter. Go for it.
I don't know, honestly. There usually aren't that many that turn me away in the first line.
Really? That's surprising. Okay.
Maybe if it's something that mentions a pairing I don't like.
song lyrics. Song lyrics.
Song lyrics.
Starting
Never
with the
mind,
song
I stand
lyrics.
corrected.
Okay, to clarify, not just when they just insert song lyrics just as the whole song, just like when they say, oh, this lyric, we're gonna include it because it's a cool line, right? No, it's not a cool line. It is a song lyric. They do not belong in people's speech. Suddenly having Naruto recite Drake lyrics, no. No. Started from the bottom, no. Why? No.
At the very least, not word for word. That's stupid.
Oh.
If you need to, at least modify the line so it makes sense, and then don't ever mention that it's a song lyric. Just put it in as dialogue.
The people that recognize it will think you're a dumbass. The people that don't recognize it might think it's kind of stupid, but they'll move past it. That's probably the best reaction you're going to get.
Yeah, pretty much. I think the only time I've ever seen a song lyric worked in well was like right before the chapter title at the very top of the page. And that was more of a quote than a song lyric.
Freaking song lyrics.
You know, I was thinking this one, but it probably doesn't count because I really like this line. I feel really intoxicating right now.
That one time at Wembley Stadium in 1988.
Yeah. Oh, God. I can't believe Ken immediately... Nice one, Ken.
You both watched the
Pelvic thrust left.
Insanity, didn't you?
Yeah.
Pelvic thrust.
Well, I edited it, so yeah.
Pelvic thrust left. Bam. Pelvic thrust to the right. Bam. Explosions. Bam.
I don't know what's happening, but it's funny.
I found a fanfic, and the first line is, when I was younger, I, like every other girl my age, dreamed of marrying the boy who lived, Neville Longbottom. What?
Wow. What is it, Silver Aegis Cross Challenge thing?
It's Neville was the boy who lived. Why?
That's pretty common, actually.
Is that intentional, or like an AU story?
You think so?
An idiot.
First person tends to have a lot of things that can just make me stop reading. Very easily.
It's a tricky writing method.
If it's done good, I will stick around.
Yeah, it can be done very well, but there's a lot of lines.
If they know something, like if they know something or bring something up in first person that they should not know at that point in time, or should have no idea about, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something to break the suspension of disbelief that it's first person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, starting with an OC, and then having the OC be like a big, mysterious, cool guy. And that's your main character. It's just like any sort of line that paints your OC as a mysterious cool guy. I'm like, no, I don't. Why?
I can expand on that. Anybody who mentions they are mysterious themselves. You don't do that. Other people call you mysterious. Unless
people actually saying I'm mysterious.
Yeah. Unless it's a joke where it's like that's what they're going for, that's the image they're trying to portray.
I'm being mysterious, woohoo, kind of thing. That maybe it's a little goofy, but that's probably the point. So yeah, go for it. But
all caps, anything all caps. Just straight up, I don't like it unless it's just like you're screaming. But if you just like, if you're not in dialogue and you just do all caps, it bothers me.
I can't really think of any examples where that works. And even with the screaming, that's like top of your lungs gonna be having a sore throat afterward volume.
I can't think of a reason why you would ever have all caps in narration.
Heck if I know, but it happens. It mainly when the author is intruding a little bit too much.
Usually, yeah. Oh, signs. I've seen signs written in, like somebody reading something.
Oh, like, welcome to Cerulean City. Gary was here, Ash the Loser. They'll write that out.
Yeah, pretty much. That, it'll be in capital letters, sometimes underscored. I usually do text like that, letters underscored.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that, yeah. Gary was here.
It was the only sign. It was the first sign that came to mind.
Really?
Yes.
Was it?
I'm not surprised. I can't say I'm surprised anymore.
Okay, follow blank on his or her journey through blank, alongside their best friends, or companions, or whatever.
Is this a summary or?
Just
That's
like,
basically a summary.
if I see that in the summary, I'm just like, I don't want to follow them though.
No. Betrayed by everyone he loved.
Yeah.
Oh,
Great.
God. Yeah, okay. I stand corrected. Any fic that starts with Harry in Azkaban. And the next line being, everyone betrayed me. Or something along those lines.
Just having the word die, fool.
If the pause actually there, is there an ellipsis? Just die, fool.
Well, okay, I liked Maleficent, and that is something she would totally do and say, so I can't really fault that for
It's
her.
when it's not somebody who's Maleficent.
Yeah.
Inappropriateness like that. Random villain shows up. Die, fools!
You know what? I don't have a problem with that. That's a stark bluntness that I can get used to in my villains, you know?
I suppose, yeah.
I'm talking
For
about
an
the
villain,
goofy
sure.
job.
I'm talking about the all caps, forcibly elongated die. Where they put in like 17 I's and 13 E's just to get the point across.
Remember, people,
do
some
you
people
elongate
have
the
the
word
text
die?
set to larger, so your long word like that can stretch for like 3 whole lines.
Yeah, especially if people write in the half-screen thing, which I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you're elongating die, you only focus on the I. You kind of have to.
I'd have thought it'd be the E.
Die.
But then it just looks weird. Because then it's just D,
Die.
big block, and then E.
Why are we talking about this?
I found a fic. Snape the Black Dragon. The summary is not much of a summary, just an idea that hit me while I was reading. Snape the Black Dragon.
Any relation to Puff the Magic Dragon?
I hope. I'm gonna open this up.
Don't do that to yourself.
Last time he opened up something while he was reading, it came about the Michael Jackson Wembley Stadium thing. So this is kind of.
It was supposed to be another.
Wasn't that me?
One of you did it.
Whatever.
Last time he opened something up, that happened. It was. Gone.
It was supposed to be another day in potions. It was supposed to be another ruined potion by Malfoy. It was supposed to be another Snape taking points from Gryffindor and blaming either Harry, Neville, or Samus. It was supposed to be another day in potions, but it wasn't.
Okay, the thing with repetition, it's supposed to be rule of 3. 1, 2, 3. Then you stop. You don't keep going. Move on. Go on.
What potion do you think we'll be doing today? Hermione asked. Who cares? The quicker we get there, the quicker we can leave, Ron said, as he, Hermione, and Harry walked to the Dungeons for Potions class. Yeah, it's just... it's so casual. There's nothing...
It's kind of normal, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was expecting something more.
Nah.
Also, it's Seamus, not Samus. That's a different character.
Seamus.
Yeah. It's an Irish name. I'm sorry.
Albus looked at the potion master in awe, for the man had turned into a pure black dragon.
Wouldn't they all be dead? The room is not that big.
Yeah.
To go back a line, 2 more snubs sprouted beside the wing spikes on his back, growing out until they became bat-like with the claw at the tops. His neck had gone longer and thicker, stopping with the tops of the wings, his hair melding into his skull as 4 horns sprouted from his head, 2 small ones in front of the large ones. This is all one line, by the way, one sentence. His snout had a single horn on top of his nose, his teeth now covered by his scaly lips, and his ears spring away from his head, becoming webbed with 3 spines between his left wing. He shuddered a final time, and the last of his clothes came off, and that was all one sentence.
Oh yeah, any sentence like that with no punctuation in it, that's fucking...
No! There's commas, but no! Do not do a run-on sentence like that. I will kill you.
I make this mistake fairly often, not to that scale, thankfully, but yeah, commas do not... They don't
fix everything. The one story that I beta has a very similar problem, yeah. Incidentally, the video Game of Thrones just updated. Everyone go read it. Yay!
Yeah, run-on sentences. That's a turn-off line for me, because you don't know how to break up sentences. So how can I trust you?
Yeah, you see, this didn't end up so bad after all.
No, that was okay.
Just Zero opened it up.
Alright, so, next topic. The one Steve limit.
I don't even know.
One Steve. You can only have
Incidentally,
one
I'm changing my name to Kenchi. So, just thought I'd let you know about that.
Well, you can technically do that because my name is numbered.
Kenchi 617.
Yeah. I'll be Kenchi 617 from now on. So
that just means I'm better than you and upgraded.
I'll be Kenchi 619 then.
I'll kill you.
Or you could be Kenchi 618.2.
I was thinking Kenchi 618.1.
You know what, Suda? I'll be Kenchi 420.
Alright.
That'd be great.
I'm not sure if believing in you would keep you from disappearing at some point in time, because there can only be one Kenchi.
Kenchi 69,000.
Kenchi 6969? XX?
Kenchi greater than 9,000.
What is happening? There's a topic here somewhere, I'm sure.
Because there's only one Steve that you can have and only one Kenchi
Yeah, so you can't have more than one person with the same name, is the idea. So me changing my name to Kenchi would make things confusing because someone would ask Kenchi a question and then we'd both try to answer.
Don't have
and such
two
things.
guys named Tim. Unless you plan on referring to one as Timothy and the other one is...
And the other one is Tim the Tool Man.
Yeah.
Great.
Go to a lame.
You guys are lame. I'm abstaining from that.
You want to not have character names overlap. And you will find that in most stories this does not tend to happen as much. I mean, My Hero Academia is really good at making unique character names, so it never runs into that problem.
Mostly because it's doing the names based on powers
Yeah.
thing, which Western comics does as well.
Yeah. But if you have two characters that are named the same thing and they're just ordinary, like, Jim name, like, say you have a character named Jim, you have another character named Jim, who do I know which ones, why do I care about them? Because there's two of them and I don't know which one's which. If one Jim does something awesome and the other Jim does something bad, how do I know which Jim to like?
A character that has the same name as another character is not a unique character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By definition, it takes away a little bit of the uniqueness.
It takes away.
So it makes them a little bit less interesting.
It takes away from the character they're named after, and it takes away from their own character, so it's not great.
Both lose out, so it's not an ideal thing to do.
This is
Really.
actually something I've had a huge problem with for artists OCs specifically, not even just stuff that's in stories. It's if I see another OC you made that's named Gwen, I'm gonna snap. Use rarer names.
Or different names.
Yeah.
Anything else. Anything else.
Excuse me, I'm just gonna look up fucking names. I have a name thing on...
There are random name
There we go.
generators that you can use if you're.
I
really-
am looking at one right
Yeah.
now, and if you want an interesting, let's say feminine name, because Slicer was just asking for one, and we'll go with, do we have a Celtic one? No, let's go with Welsh then, because Welsh have nice, interesting, unusual sounding names.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Incidentally, the first name that comes up is actually one of my favorite names ever, Caris. Carys. It is a very nice name. It literally means love.
It sounds
So,
very nice and doesn't sound super odd and weird.
Yeah, and you don't see very many of them, so, there you go. Olwyn, that's a little bit strange, but, O-L-Y... sorry. O-L-W-Y-N.
Alwyn.
Yeah.
You can work with that, and especially,
Yeah.
like, given your setting, it's pretty easy to find names if you just go to the native language of the area. And
Enid. E-N-I-D.
yeah, you never see that.
Well, it's
Run
an
one.
old person name, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you don't see it much anymore. But
But
Rhiannon. Gwendolyn. Oh, sorry, that's a Gwendolyn.
yeah, that's
Oh, God. Gwyneth. God damn it. Honestly, I'm not trying to do this, but... yeah, okay. I'll stop doing that.
yeah, but the point is, you can find names, and you can put effort into finding names without reusing the same name. And even if you're like bringing an OC, if they're the same name as like a villain in the story, unless you plan on that being a plot point, you don't want to do that.
for instance,
I am
like,
literally going to put the name generator I use in the link dump. You can search up first, middle, and surnames for any culture. So, like I just did, I searched up Welsh names for feminine, first and middle names, came up with a bunch. A couple of them were admittedly similar, but,
well, they're not all going to be winners. I mean, multiple
Yeah,
searches
so-
is a good idea.
it's got like dozens of different cultures, so you could just pick out Japanese names because there's a setting for that.
So,
Because I know that's a common thing. Simple as.
yeah.
If you want to, you can search by definition as well.
I've never really run into this problem, and I've never really seen this problem happen at all. But it's a good thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, a lot of the time people will go too far in the other direction. They so want their character to be more unique that they try and go with too interesting a name. Like, for example, as one of the names that I just mentioned, Olwyn. That's a very strange name, and unless you happen to be in like a high fantasy setting,
You're a mage!
that's probably a weird name to give.
Alwyn the mage sounds cool.
It does, but that's pretty much the only
That's
scenario
the only,
where it might
that's
work.
the only way you can possibly work that in. It's some
The
old...
bottom line is, don't use canon names for your OCs. I do not want to see Jessie, the OC Pokemon trainer.
Yeah, that's kind of dumb.
That's good.
Unless you're going to have a twist at some point in the story where it actually turns out to be,
The actual Jesse.
the actual Jesse, yeah.
Yeah. Boy, that would be the worst disguise ever. Like, it's the big reveal, and then everyone already knows.
Yeah, well, you could do just like her first going out on a Pokemon journey and she's 10, and then it does a time skip, and it's like 5 years later, and she's in the rocket uniform.
Oh, well,
Okay.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
5 years? That's generous.
Yeah, she's 15,
What?
canonically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
You really shouldn't be
Did you not know
surprised at ages in Pokemon. They're all
No.
stupid.
All right, then. I did not know that, and I know that now, and...
Yep. So you're going to be deleting some pictures from your computer, I imagine, at this point.
No, I don't have to.
Oh,
Don't save anything
Oh,
on this computer.
Okay. So, yeah. Thanks for the freaking music
I
interlude.
can't tell if people are going to text me things.
Yeah. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. You've got to make sure that your name that you're using is going to be unique in the setting. Because, unless you really, really want to do the gag of someone asking such and such a name a question and then both of them saying what, then I guess you could do it, but it's kind of a lame joke.
not funny. It's really not.
Yeah. So if you really want to do that, fucking knock yourself out. No one's going to read it or whatever. But otherwise, you want a unique name. But if you go too far the other direction and get too unique a name, then no one's going to take that character seriously because their name is Shadow Blazeheart or something stupid like that.
Yeah, that's
Which is probably a real name.
cringingly realistic. I'm sure that's...
I can't believe I came up with that off the top of my head. That was such a good, terrible OC name. But yeah, also Ghost Ketchum, for example. I think still updating, by the way. Just want to let people
Of course
know
it is. Garbage never dies.
I feel like we're being too mean to this author. But, Ghost Ketchum, it's hard to forgive something like that. God damn. Yeah, so go for unique. Don't go too unique. Because, ironically, when you do that, it's less unique. All the stupid names get piled together into one big pile of stupid names.
Yeah.
So, you are just one more stupid name out there if you do that, I guess.
I want a character named Coltrane. Again.
I was going to say.
I need more Coltrane in my life.
Well, you could play Infamous and, ride the rails, and then you could be the Coal Train. Get it? Because his name's Cole, and he's on the train tracks.
That was so bad you almost made me throw up. Physically.
I'm okay with this. Okay. So that's one Steve limit. Alright, question. We got a question from Neil. I got a question from Neil. What do I think about Dragon Ball Z now that I've seen Abridged and played Xenoverse? I still think it sucks. I'll rephrase, I still think it's an incredibly bare-bones story that does a couple of things that, modern manga don't actually do. Like, modern manga don't let the characters actually grow up, despite every single one of them having a time skip. They don't let the characters have kids until the epilogue. Again, despite the time skip. Which was interesting in that series, but it was the only thing that was interesting about that series by today's standards.
The thing about...
If it was in its own little time bubble and it only existed in perpetuity in the time that it was created, then yes, it would constantly be groundbreaking. But nowadays, it is just the template that everyone else uses.
In all actuality, it's like Dragon Ball Z. It was great for its time. It was very good for its time. And
it was groundbreaking for its time.
And it established all these rules and all these other things. And like you said, a template that everybody went and then started to corrupt in their own ways.
Corrupt and improve upon, in my opinion. A lot of them did a lot more interesting things.
There's a lot more interesting things done.
Yeah.
There were a lot of mistakes done, but overall, you can still see a little bit of Dragon Ball and everything that. And most of them are shown in mangas that come out.
Yeah. I respect it for what it did. I don't like it for what it is.
Yeah, it's like going back and trying to play Final Fantasy VII, even though you've never played it before.
Yep.
it was at the time it was great, and you have the nostalgia to keep you thinking that it is great.
If you go back and play it, you will find it miserable. Well, I'll rephrase. You'll find it. Oh wow,
You'll find
I
it
remember
lacking
this. This is great.
It lacks the improvement.
God, this gameplay sucks. This battle system is such a goddamn chore. Oh, random encounter.
It lacks the improvements that you're used to seeing.
Yeah.
And that's really the thing with Dragon Ball. So coming into it late, there's no way we could possibly expect you to all of a sudden fall in love with it. But it's still good for what it is.
Yeah. Like I say, I respect it for what it did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about the best you're going to expect from me, so... Sorry. I wasn't there for it when it came out.
The unpolished original should be respected for what it is, but that doesn't mean you have to have a good opinion of it now.
Okay, does anyone have a recommendation? We're an hour and 30, by the way, so this one's going to be a little bit shorter than usual.
Nope. Seems like I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel in my corner of the fan world, so...
Yeah, I'm going to just do a quick look at my fucking alerts and see if there's anything. I did mention Video Game of Thrones, which, again, I beta. It's a good story, and people should look at it. Yay!
I need to branch out more.
Probably.
You need to write a story about a guy that does a thing.
Guy that does a thing?
I'm doing that.
Nice.
Oh, wait, you did write that. Well, then I guess you branched out enough. You don't need to branch out ever again. Yay!
Oh, speaking of branching out, a friend of mine asked me to request that you write, or at least try your hand at Naruto Fairy Tail crossover.
Me?
Ken?
Yeah, Ken.
That's a lot of research that I don't feel like doing.
It's a tall order to read a shitty story.
Yeah, like I said, I dropped my Fairy Tail fic, because
it was bad. Well, not because the fic was bad, but because the story got bad.
Fairy Tail got bad, yeah, and I didn't want to write for it anymore.
That was the other one. It was a Naruto Fairy Tail crossover or a high school DxD Naruto crossover.
That could be more interesting.
Yeah.
If you actually take a unique spin on it, rather than doing the same thing that everyone else does. Hey, Naruto's in modern day, and now he is in Rias Peerage, because that makes sense when he is one of the most powerful creatures in the world.
Naruto dies, and now he's a devil in hell. Oh my.
Now, if I'm going to do anything like that, I have to have an idea in my mind that's going to actually seem like it's interesting, or something that's groundbreaking of some sort. I don't
Just bringing good old immortal Naruto from your Bleach.
That's one way to do it, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
I don't want conflict for half of it.
Trying to think of a good, interesting concept for Naruto to join the universe. Well, it would make sense for him to be part of the yokai faction?
Which one?
No, that's been done. That's been done a lot. Yeah, that's the problem with Naruto, because it's in fucking everything, so there's every story's already been done.
Chilling with the QB in hell. And all these people start coming through, and he's like, what?
I actually haven't seen that in a while, where Naruto dies and his soul is damned by association, so he just goes to hell.
Okay. So, eventually, it does the whole, epilogue, blah, blah, everyone's great and happy and everything, and then they decide, okay, we don't need the tail beasts here anymore, we should really get rid of them. And since Naruto's kind of tied to them, they get rid of him as well by proxy.
Whoops.
And where do they send them? Hey, there you go. See, there's a basic, bare bones, not even a framework, but
sounds like the angsty start of Betrayal fic to me, though.
It's not really a betrayal fic. It's like they didn't know that was going to happen.
They tried to get rid of the QB, but it accidentally killed Naruto too.
Either that, or Naruto knows full well it's going to happen, and takes the hero out.
He takes the hero out.
Yeah, he's just kind of okay with it, the same way his dad did, that kind of thing. The world doesn't need these super weapons anymore, so let's just get rid of them. kind of thing.
Pretty much.
And if I need to go with them to get rid of them, then so be it. I'll hang out with the QB for the rest of eternity. That's fine. It's not so bad. He's a bro.
I was going to say that. They're bros that soda works.
They're all bros, apparently.
Yeah. Except Naruto couldn't remember Shukaku's name for some reason. That still pisses me off. God damn it.
Oh, you mean the first gigantic thing that ever tried to step on you and kill you?
Yeah, that's the one.
Wait, do you mean his actual name or just Shukaku?
Shukaku is his actual name.
Oh. Alright then.
Yeah, they retconned that shit.
That's weird.
But yeah, I think that would work as a Naruto fic if Ken wants to do that, or if anyone else wants to do that. If I can go for it, be interesting.
Yeah, why the hell do I have to do everything around here?
Yeah.
Because you save fandoms, literally.
Basically, yeah.
Because you're willing to write Naruto, and I'm not, and...
You remember when you wrote that Donzo fic, and it was better than pretty much every other Donzo fic in existence? Even though it was one of your earliest works, and thus is a bit, shabby by comparison to your more modern stuff.
Dated.
Stop putting me over.
I need to go write an awesome fic later.
I really need to write more of that fucking Skyrim thing at some point. I need to write more of that fucking Naruto thing at some point.
I need Slices to write more of that Dark Souls insert, because I want to read that.
I actually had a close call with that where I thought I threw away all my notes, but no,
That would have been bad. Write more of that.
I need to write more of that Krillin. Oh, wait, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm shut on now.
Did you actually delete that?
What? Me?
The Krillin thing. Did you delete it or?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I did. I might have.
I'm gonna check.
I think that's a pet peeve of mine. Authors deleting their stories. It just irritates me. On a deep level that makes me hate everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I did, actually. Wow.
I don't see it, yeah. Oh, Superhuman, here it is.
Did I? What did I delete?
It's here.
Huh. I thought I deleted...
Superhuman, 5,000 words, one chapter.
Yeah. Okay.
Not bad for the first chapter.
I deleted something. I don't know what it was, though.
That's not improving my opinion.
To be like...
Because, sometimes I get in, a fit of apathy, and then I just delete things.
Your things?
Yes. Not fixed.
No, it's Slices.
No.
He just has access for some reason.
No. I once, for example, I had a whole bunch of Pokemon on this one file, and these are Pokemon I had gotten over the years, and I was just like, I don't care about Pokemon right now, so I deleted my entire save file.
Did you regret it?
Kind of. A little bit.
That's different, though, kind of.
But, weird. What did I delete? I swear I deleted something in a fit of apathy.
Well, it clearly wasn't that important because you don't remember it.
Or not.
And it wasn't important to me because I don't remember it.
Neither do I.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember what I deleted. Nah, it's not a big idea. It's not a big deal.
It's not a big idea.
It was a Bleach fic thing.
Oh, yeah, the Bleach thing where What's-His-Face is going to be the protagonist.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
I remember. Yeah, you mentioned you deleted that one, yeah. Oh, well.
Keigo's such a butt monkey.
He's such a butt monkey that Zero couldn't even tolerate writing more than a chapter of a story about him.
Yeah.
Oh. Everyone feel bad.
I don't. I'm happy.
Now stop, because it's fucking Keigo and no one cares. Seriously though, Ken, start writing that fucking DxD fic. You're finishing Street Fighter soon, right? Yeah.
Alright, do we have any other questions?
No, that was it. That's all I got.
Comments been down as of late, so.
Recommendations then, or no?
I don't got.
I don't think we have any.
I got
I recommend that. I don't know.
I'll try looking it up, but there was a sale for upgrading to the new version of Dark Souls. So if you played it, you want to play it again, you may want to get that now. It's like $10 off.
I recommend Snape the Black Trash.
I don't think that's a sale. I think that's just a permanent thing that they're doing.
Yeah, the upgrade thing, but it was 30, but it was like 33% off, so it was 20.
I recommend everybody vote in the Smash Brothers Fighter ballot. Vote for your favorite character for DLC.
And by your character, we mean Wonder Red. Do it.
No.
Because I love that, because every company is now pushing their characters. Because if it gets in Smash, it gets massive recognition. Freaking even Super Meat Boy. It's not on a Nintendo console. Work? The developers made a picture, a mock-up.
I would love Super Meat Boy to be in Smash. Everyone go vote for Super Meat Boy. That'd be great.
Like
vote for Kenshi in Smash.
Like Xbox, the boss of Xbox said, "Hey, Banjo-Kazooie would be cool in Smash. We could totally get that in." And like other people were like, "Hey, vote Shantae," or "Hey, vote this indie character," like Shovel Knight. Vote Shovel Knight.
Don't vote Shovel Knight. That'd be boring.
Yeah, don't do that.
Or vote. A quote from Cave Story is one.
I want to find out what Super Meat Boy's attacks would be. So vote Super Meat Boy. It would be a swarm of Super Meat Boys. That would be one of his attacks.
Like
the thing where it does the replay of all the times you died. It's just that, a wave of Super Meat Boys.
One of the most popular options out there is the Inklings from Splatoon, and that game hasn't even come out yet. But people just love
They're gonna put that in anyway.
People just love the character design so much.
It's a fucking Nintendo character. They're just gonna put him in.
It's like, okay, everybody. Smash is where you go to get your game recognized. So for an indie developer, it's like a dream come true.
Smash is just a gigantic commercial for every game company out there.
It is right now.
Basically, yeah. That's not a bad thing.
Not,
I mean, it's a cool idea.
That is a cool way for Nintendo to make money, actually. They could, pay us, we'll put your character in this game that everyone loves and gets recognition.
I wouldn't mind that. I like the bigger roster.
Yeah.
Everyone likes the bigger roster.
And
no one's mad at it.
And the people that get in are people like the fans want, because they're voting.
They would have to have an amiibo for Super Meat Boy. I just find that hilarious.
Yeah. That's the other thing, though. The chances are that anybody in will get an amiibo. So then you can have Super Meat Boy, for instance, in other games. Granted, it's probably...
Everyone vote for Super Meat Boy. Do it right now. Fucking do it.
Chances are it's probably just going to be like a character portrait instead of actual character models in other games, but, you know...
That's disappointing. I still don't care. Everyone vote for Super Meat Boy. Just fucking... It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Do it.
But yeah,
do it.
Team Meat has gone on and tweeted that they should go and vote for Super Meat Boy.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what to do.
And there's I'll share the mock-up picture right now. I'm going to link that so you can get a look at that.
Okay.
Is this the recommendation?
Oh. Yeah, it would be pretty amazing.
All right. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm still going with Wonder Red.
So good.
You know.
I don't understand why everybody wants Wonder Red so much.
Because it's a cool character?
It's also another Nintendo character. Yeah. Who gives a shit? Let's make an interesting character that's never going to get in otherwise.
Let's vote for... Everybody vote for Bomberman. We need Bomberman. That's a dead franchise that needs some love.
Isn't Bomberman also a Nintendo character?
No, he's not.
He's not?
He may as well be. He's not on any of the other systems. Everyone knows him for Nintendo. Nothing else.
He's been on every single Nintendo console except for the Wii U and 3DS. Which is why he's a great option. And
except mostly no one cares about Bomberman anymore. So everyone go vote for Super Meat Boy, because Super Meat Boy is fucking awesome. And look at that attack. It's a fucking buzzsaw.
That's not him. That's Mega Man.
That's Mega Man.
In that case, that's just too appropriate a fucking anti-Super Meat Boy weapon.
Yeah.
To make it a fucking... Yeah. Do want. I still need to get a Wii U at some point. That's fucking expensive now.
Are
For my
they?
means. Well, it's still about £200, and that's a lot of money that I don't really want to spend.
Yeah.
I'm still feeling out how my expenses are at the moment. I think I'm okay. I had a lot of outlay this month, so... Fucking Premiere, you shit.
What's outlay?
And broken. What?
What's outlay?
Money I spent.
Oh, okay.
Or rather money I had to spend because I needed things.
Premiere isn't broken, you're just too weak to handle it.
Premiere's broken. Come on, I have an i5 processor. How could my CPU be redlining from that shit? It's not that bad.
He was explaining to me it does sound a bit broken.
I've never redlined from it. I've never experienced any of the problems that you're saying.
It's fine for the first 10% of conversion, and then it just goes, and that's it.
Weird. You want to look up some videos? Maybe that's curable.
I don't fucking know. Fucking Premiere. Fucking Adobe. Made the process so fucking pain in the arse anyway. Jesus Christ. Do you want to know how I ended up getting Adobe Premiere?
No.
What's that?
Okay. They let you buy it from the site. They don't let you download it from the site.
Huh.
Or rather, they do, but you can only do it through Internet Explorer without AdBlock. So you can't use Chrome, you can't use AdBlock. You have to download it that way.
Weird.
Yeah. You know how long it took me to figure that out? Too fucking long. And you know what else? It's a fucking zip file.
I just have the...
What modern day program doesn't use an exe? Are you kidding me?
I just had the trial already installed, so I just unlocked it with through the trial thing.
This is a long ass thing. Was this recommendations or the ending or what? What are we doing?
We just kind of
Super Meat Boy, go vote. I need to do the link to the fucking thing. Vote for Super Meat Boy. Here we go. Right, copy the link to the thing. Vote Super Meat Boy. Where's my thing? There it is. Yay, I found my thing. Vote Super Meat Boy. Yay. So, everyone should go do that because it'd be super awesome. And it would make me buy a Wii U. I'll be honest, I totally would. If Super Meat Boy got into fucking Smash as a DLC character, I would immediately go and buy a Wii U. Expenses be damned.
Well, alright.
So, everyone go vote and make me go broke. It's good. Almost rhymes. See? It's a slogan. So, I guess that does it for the episode, yeah?
I guess.
Seems like it. That was a long ending.
Anything else you want to throw in there? Want the Blob in Super Smash next? Want a campaign for that?
The Blob was kind of... It was only good for the music stuff, and that was all I had. The Blob itself was kind of boring.
How about Roy? So we can have the old cast. All of them.
Roy?
Yeah.
Fire Emblem Roy?
Yeah.
I guess.
From whatever Smash he was in.
Yeah.
But we have Chrom and Lucina and the protagonist now. Why would we want those old shitty characters? Lucina, she's amazing.
Full cast.
People want Waluigi, and you gotta have the Wah. And Daisy.
What
that
would
is
he
a
even
wonderful
do?
slogan. You gotta have the Wah.
And, like...
There should be orcs that have fucking banners that say that. You gotta have the Wah, and there's just a picture of Waluigi.
People are still voting for Ridley, though I don't know why.
Ridley is in Metroid Ridley?
Yeah. Even though he's technically in his boss. Freaking...
The game. Not gonna...
Yeah, people are voting for King K. Rool from Donkey Kong because he's a pirate. Crocodile.
Okay, for the love of Christ, stop voting for Nintendo characters. They're Nintendo characters.
That doesn't mean they're gonna get in.
Yeah. People are...
But why would you vote for characters that could get in easily when you could vote for characters that would never get in a million years unless fucking vote for them?
Some people want Snake back in, so they're voting for him.
Nah,
that wouldn't even be hard. I mean, he's already programmed. You just add him in.
Yeah.
Take like a week.
It's more like buying the licensing, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's probably the issue. Yeah, licensing.
Then again, they didn't have to pay for Sonic because they basically own Sonic now. I forgot about that. Oh, Sega.
Yeah.
How far you have fallen. I can't believe Nintendo won in the end.
I'm glad Nintendo won in the end.
But Sega does what Nintendo don't.
And Nintendo don't. The things Nintendo don't do. Apparently wasn't good enough.
All right, we're gonna end this because we were.
Yeah, I guess so. I had to add in the link up that we're gonna fucking put the Nintendo thing on there.
Just for saying that, I hope you walk into a door.
Slice being mean.
Door with spikes on it.
If Slicer keeps being mean, I'm not going to do that Let's Play with him.
Right.
And he's going to be sad and alone.
Well, that just means I get to play the game by myself.
Oh, poor Slicer. Being sad and alone. Not doing cool Let's Plays with his buddy Casey. Oh. So I'd like to thank everybody for listening to this episode of the Fandom Flux Podcast, episode 81. If you would like to get in contact with us, you can do so through the box about page of the comments or on personal profiles on fanfiction.net, through the YouTube channel for the comments. Please donate on Patreon if you feel so inclined. Once again, I would like to thank everybody for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast, episode 81. Bye now.
Goodbye.
See you guys.